In today's video, I want to go over the fact that there's going to be some major game reveals come tomorrow. It's actually an Xbox-oriented event, but you guys know how these things work. Whenever there's a major event, you're going to be seeing games that are going to release across a variety of different platforms. Yes, will there be a little bit more of a focus on Xbox exclusives? Absolutely, but there will also be games shown off that are going to be third-party releases, so I want to highlight all of that. Also, a PlayStation 4 exclusive might have gotten its release date leaked. We'll talk all about that. Shovel Knight Showdown and King of Cards release date have finally been revealed, and Commandos 2 HD Remaster is going to be launching January 2020 for PC, and it'll be coming shortly thereafter for consoles. We'll talk that at the end of this video. And before we get into everything, I just want to remind you guys to make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification icon so you're always notified of uploads, and that definitely helps out the channel too, so we always appreciate that. First up, tomorrow Microsoft kicks off XO19, their annual celebration of all things Xbox, with an Inside Xbox show they're promising is going to be one for the ages. We already know a dozen games from Xbox Game Studio devs will be there, including Wasteland 3, Minecraft Dungeons, and Microsoft Flight Simulator, but some juicy rumors suggest some even bigger things are on the way. Specifically, the Xbox Twitter account noted, XO19 kicks off with an episode of Inside Xbox. You won't want to miss 12 Xbox Game Studios titles, including new reveals and PC. Those are probably going to be the titles that will be exclusive to either Xbox One and PC, or if they do come to PlayStation 4, it'll be like games like Minecraft. New PC and console game reveals will also be happening for Xbox Game Pass and big Project xCloud news. I feel like everybody should be in tune with what's going on with Project xCloud, because that probably is going to parlay into the future of gaming as a whole. We know that Sony is going to be committed to game streaming going into the future. Xbox is getting into the game. Google is dropping Stadia here very soon. So a lot to talk about as far as that's concerned. Also, additional rumors come courtesy of Nico Partners analyst Daniel Ahmad, who's proven to be a very reliable source of inside information in the past. According to him, Microsoft is preparing to announce a new IP from arguably their two biggest studios, Rare and Obsidian. We can also expect release dates for major games like the aforementioned Wasteland 3, Bleeding Edge, and Minecraft Dungeons. Ahmad specifically noted XO19 is worth watching tomorrow if you're a fan of Xbox Game Studios. The event will have a solid 2020 release dates for Xbox Game Studio titles like Bleeding Edge, Minecraft Dungeons, and Wasteland 3, new IP from Obsidian and Rare, a Shadow Drop, plus much more. And Ahmad also noted Microsoft have been investing heavily in its studios, games, and services. Even with next gen around the corner, Xbox Game Studios have approximately half a dozen titles scheduled to ship in 2020 prior to the Scarlet launch. Game Pass will be a big focus as always for both Xbox Game Studios and third party. So a lot of that information to digest is going to be more so on the Xbox side of things. I don't know how many of you guys have interest in things like Xbox Game Pass, but I feel like more so now than ever, you might be a PlayStation guy, you might be an Xbox guy, but right now, you really have to be in tune with every single company and understand what every single company is doing, realize what games they have coming out heading into 2020, and what their game plan is for next generation, because ultimately, I imagine the majority of you guys are only going to buy one console, so you have to make that decision now if you are going to pick up the console on launch or shortly thereafter. What is Xbox doing? Have they done enough to sway you to that direction? Is PlayStation staying committed to what you know and love them for? I think the majority of our viewers are definitely going to stick with PlayStation. Or is it a case of you have a PlayStation 4, you plan on getting a PlayStation 5, but Xbox is finally doing enough compelling stuff where maybe you'll also buy an Xbox? The issue with Xbox One, look, I have nothing against the Xbox One. I think the One X is a very powerful console. Unfortunately, there are just not enough exclusives for the majority of people to warrant picking up that console. If you want to play the majority of games, you'd rather just get a PlayStation 4. You can play all the third-party games, and then you can play a litany of incredible exclusives. Well, the difference next generation is going to be that Microsoft is committing a lot into acquiring these top-tier studios, the Obsidians of the world, the Ninja Theories. They've got Rare. They've invested a lot into Xbox Game Studios, and ultimately, these games are going to be coming out on Xbox One as well as PC. So either you need to invest in an Xbox One or a next-gen Xbox, or you need to go the PC route as well alongside with your PlayStation 4 if you still want to play all the PS4 exclusives. Just a very interesting time in gaming as a whole whenever we're going towards the end of one generation and into another. I know we're still probably a year away, but really we're closing out the life of the PS4 and the Xbox One at this point. Now is the time to really start assessing how both companies did this generation, and moving forward, which company is going to do things that are are more consumer friendly. If either Sony or Microsoft come out and they're like, we're not going to have full backwards compatibility next generation, but then the other platform will have full backwards compatibility, well, that's going to be an issue right off the bat, and that console manufacturer is right away going to have a big advantage. That's a little bit into the future. As far as tomorrow goes, expect some announcements of a variety of third-party titles on top of insight into a lot of major Xbox Game Studios titles. They specifically noted 12 Xbox Game Studio titles, including new reveals and games for PC, so it's going to be interesting tomorrow, even if you're not fully an Xbox guy. Alright, moving on from that, Dreams' full release date may have been leaked, and it's sooner than you might be thinking. Sony and Media Molecule's 3D game maker Dreams has been in early access since April of this year, and thus far there's been no real hint about when a full release may arrive. Media Molecule seems pretty happy about how early access has been going, so could the game end up lingering there for a long time to come? Perhaps not. The game's final release date has seemingly been outed, and we may not have to wait much longer for a full version of the game. UK retailer Showdown recently tweeted that Dreams is due out for a February release date and budget price point. They also noted that it would be February 14th, pre-order now, and again, they did note a budget price point, which I believe if the conversion's accurate, over here in the States, it would be $29 or $39.99, which would be a great price for the game. I think Dreams at a full $60 could actually sell relatively well. I mean, Little Big Planet released at $60 and people didn't have an issue dropping that money for LBP. However, if it did come out at $30 or $40, hey, that would be all the better. If we assume that this is real, it looks like Sony is essentially giving The Last of Us Part 2's old release date to Dreams. The Last of Us Part 2 was originally scheduled to come out February 21st before being delayed to May, so Dreams coming out on February 14th fills a gap on the calendar nicely. But who knows if that was all collective thinking or if this is just something that's coming together. I imagine that Media Molecule would ultimately have to be happy with how the game's turning out, how early access is going before they okayed on a February release window. And at the end of the day, Shop 2, even though they've been very credible in the past, this could have just been a misfire by them. Whatever the case may be, something to keep an eye on, and Dreams is a game that I've constantly gone to bat for. It is a very, very interesting title, and it is a game that's going to be reliant on what the consumer actually does with it. Media Molecule is just offering a fantastic tool set, and yes, for them to create a compelling tool set, that's important, but then it is up to the creativity of the gamer to do something really interesting with it, and that's really what it came down to with LBP as well. LBP's longevity and its excellence came from the excellent creation suite and all of the levels we could play. And based on what I'm initially seeing of people doing with Dreams, there's a lot of potential here. It's just how far can that potential go, and ultimately will it be realized anytime in the near future. Media Molecule also did note that they have a 10-year plan for the game, and that's going into the PS5. So a lot to go as far as that goes, but Dreams is probably going to be out sometime in 2020. Alright, and lastly, I do want to highlight a couple of games. Shovel Knight Showdown and King of Cards release date has finally been revealed. After over 5 years, developer Yacht Club Games has finally announced the release date for the last two expansions in the larger Shovel Knight package. Previously having only been confirmed to release in December, Yacht Club recently divulged that both Shovel Knight King of Cards and Shovel Knight Showdown will each drop next month on December 10th. Additionally, the Shovel Knight Amiibo 3-pack and the physical editions of Shovel Knight Treasure Trove, other than the PlayStation 4 version, will also be releasing on the same date. That will also mark the end of their work on Shovel Knight, which initially released all the way back in 2014. If you're unfamiliar with the final two expansions for Shovel Knight, King of Cards is another story add-on for the game, much like Plague of Shadows and Spectre of Torment. This time around, you play as King Knight, who comes with his own widely different gameplay mechanics compared to those characters you've played in the past. Showdown, on the other hand, is a multiplayer party game where characters from the world of Shovel Knight can clash against one another. Over 16 characters will be playable in Showdown, and it will also boast a single-player mode if you're just looking to square off against the CPU. So that's coming December 10th, simultaneous drop. And lastly, I do want to note that Commandos 2 HD Remaster is coming January 2020 for PC, spring 2020 for consoles. In Commandos 2 HD Remastered, you'll take control of an elite group of allied commandos who must venture deep into enemy territory and utilize their combined expertise to complete a series of notoriously demanding missions. In a World War II genre-defining classic, explore interactive environments and use the commandos' unique skill set to complete the mission against seemingly impossible odds. Experience every tutorial and campaign mission from the original game revamped in high definition with new controls. Reunite with a cast of characters including Jack, Tiny O'Hara, cat and Whiskey the dog. Some charm there. There's definitely a game that's more suited for PC gamers. However, I always like to see games like this make the transition to consoles as well, and Commandos 2 HD Remaster will be out spring 2020 for consoles. And that's gonna conclude this video. Again, even if you're not a big fan of Xbox and what they're doing, Microsoft XO19 is definitely gonna be something to keep an eye on. There's gonna be a lot of reveals on third-party titles, a lot of announcements, and ultimately you want to see what these companies are doing heading into next generation to make your decision on what console you're gonna stick with, or if you want to go both console route. A lot of decisions to be made heading into next generation. Dreams' full release date may have leaked, and it's sooner than you might think. Shovel Knight, Showdown, and King of Cards release date have finally been revealed. December 10th on that. February 14th is the rumored date for Dreams. We'll keep you guys posted on if that comes to fruition. And again, Commandos 2 HD Remaster, that'll be coming spring 2020 for consoles. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.